Alrighty, this is Chassis Gunner. I have a kind of a brief comparison video here between the Taurus Tracker 44 and the Raging Bull 44. This is the 8-inch or 8 3/8 inch barrel. This is a 4-inch barrel. Kind of different purposes. They are quite a bit differences in size, but without further ado, I'll kind of go over some of the basic features real quick to kind of compare to see what you're kind of getting and help you maybe try to make your decision. I initially got this mainly for just a hunting rifle or hunting revolver. You know, very heavy, can take heavy loads, everything like that. It has a little bit more robust lockup design, and you know, purpose driven. I got this more for backpack carry, and you know, to whoever, you know, depending on what your needs are as a shooter or what your intention is for it as an outdoors revolver, you know, you can go either way. The Tracker is really only offered anymore in the 4-inch, basically the version you see here. You can get it in a different finish, but that's all you can get. The Raging Bull, you can get it in a 6-inch barrel, or you can also get it in a 4-inch, but it's an aluminum framed ultralight version, which is actually lighter than the Tracker. So the weight on the Raging Bull here is 63 ounces. So 63 ounces there, and on the Tracker it is 35 ounces. So there's definitely some weight savings, as you should be able to expect, you know, with a lot less barrel, a lot less frame. The grips are quite a bit different. You have a little bit bigger grip on the Raging Bull. You can get a pretty good 3 full fingers. It's a little bit meatier. You know, it's got a little bit of a recoil absorption pad back there. The Tracker a little bit shorter. You know, it lends itself a little bit better to carry in, especially for like an all-day pack adventure or something like that. Thinner, does have some ribs there to help you kind of get a good grip on it, but you know, little subtle differences. They're both ported on the, you know, the last inch. So I mean, there's about an inch less on each revolver here of actual rifle barrel. So this is more like a 3-inch. This is more of a 7 and some change inch barrel of actual rifling. The Raging Bull here has a double lockup design, which is going to do a better job of holding, you know, everything together and tighter for shooting heavy loads through it, and for, you know, just long-term reliability. The Tracker only features a single slide or cylinder release. I mean, it holds up tight. That's what I tend to think. You know, you can put a lot more heavier stuff through the Raging Bull, that's for sure. But you know, like I said, depending on your needs. The trigger pulls are very, very similar. So your single action is a very light in the Tracker, very light, crisp pull. On the Raging Bull, same thing. I think it's a little bit better in the Raging Bull. You know, it just seems like it's a little bit, maybe it's just how it's designed, I don't know. They're very similar design. You can see the frame shape is basically the same, just minus, you know, the extra little bit of width here and stuff like that. Sight-wise, on the Tracker, you have an orange post on the front with kind of a target adjustable rear. So sight picture-wise, you got a nice visible orange dot. And on the Raging Bull, it's all blacked out. Kind of would like the orange on here. I'll have to look up and see if there is a way to switch that. I think that would be a little bit nicer for, you know, visibility, obviously. But it is what it is. As far as, you know, holding them up side by side, you know, they got a similar profile. One thing to note, if I hold the cylinders up side to side, you can see that the Raging Bull is quite a bit longer, and that's because it's designed to shoot the 454 Casull, and that's a little bit longer cartridge. So that's what makes it able to shoot the plus P loads like that you see from Buffalo Bore, the if you want, you can really push the 44 mag with the plus P loads, get like 1,500 pounds of energy, and it's a heavier bullet. You're going to be kind of limited on the tracker, but I honestly think that you probably wouldn't want to shoot anything like that out of this anyways, just because there is substantial more recoil on this, being, you know, half the weight and everything like that. Another thing to note, I can do this without messing up. So I'm going to compare, you know, the cylinder thicknesses here. As I said, the Raging Bull series is built for a bigger cartridge and adapted, but actually on the Tracker series on the below, it's a little thicker walls in between the cartridges, but the exterior wall here is a little thinner on the Tracker than the Raging Bull. So you can kind of compare there. I don't think it really matters, but for the most part. But that is a big difference to note. You know, and pretty much, I don't think he'd be hard pressed for either one. They are both pretty nice revolvers. Just depends on your needs, really. Just trying to do a good size comparison here of the frame. It's kind of hard to get them lined up there. I think the thickness of the frame is pretty much the same anyways. You just obviously on the Raging Bull have quite a bit beefier on the top strap here than you do on the Tracker series. So like I said, I mean, it's pretty easy to note that this is going to be able to handle substantially heavier loads than the Tracker. But you know, if you're just looking for a light, compact backpack gun, the Tracker is probably going to be a very serviceable revolver for you to use. If you're not going to be using it for trying to do long range shots or anything like that. The Raging Bull, if hunting's more your game, not saying you couldn't go hunting with a Tracker. You definitely would want to keep it in tighter tighter ranges. Raging Bull, you can stretch that baby out quite a bit. I've been on a stick and been able to, you know, get 65, 70 yards with it pretty consistently on an 8-inch plate. You know, I've got a little bit more shooting with it to do. You know, try to dial it in and maybe get a little bit further range, but yeah. There used to be a benefit to the Raging Bull, is on this vent rib here, you could mount a scope rail through these, but Taurus has since stopped offering that. I think they had issues in the design in some of them, so kind of out of luck there, but so they're kind of the same thing in that aspect of it. There is options, you know, aftermarket ones where you remove the rear sight, and you might have to do some drilling and tapping to put a scope on there if you want. But I don't think there's the same luxury on the Tracker series. But again, like I said, more hunting, probably more backpack carry. I carried this on a weekend with a friend, and we kept it on my hip all day. It got pretty heavy, but you know, I'm kind of a bigger guy. It's not too big of a deal. I didn't have a holster for this yet, and I can tell you after carrying that all day that I would probably prefer to have the Tracker on my hip all day. Just a lot lighter to carry. You know, it's just how it is. And I mean, for the most part, they're pretty similar in design and appearance. It just kind of looks like a baby version. Taurus does offer another version of a 44, which is one of their older lines, and it's kind of in between. I mean, it's the same. I think it's about the same size as the Raging Bull, but it doesn't have the double cylinder lockup, and I don't think you can shoot as heavier loads out of it like you can with the Raging Bull series. So these are just a couple quick points here to compare the two if you were kind of going back and forth between the two. I know I kind of did, looking to get my first 44. Didn't know if I'd want more of a hunting, and that's actually what I ended up picking, is more for hunting. But after my luck with this, I've had pretty good luck, so I decided to go for the Tracker and go for both of them. You know, I think you'd be hard pressed to to do any better really in the price point. I mean this. Okay, so I guess that's something else I should bring up. The price point on the Raging Bull, I picked this up for, I think I got it on the box here, $7.19. I know you can do a little better here and there, just depending on your local dealer. The tracker I picked up for about $4.50, and these were both new prices. So, like I said, just depends on where you want. If you want, and actually, if you want something more affordable off the bat, the tracker would probably be a better choice. If you like I said, just for backpack use. I think you really could do concealed carry with this, especially winter. 44 mag might be a little overkill, but some of those loads, 44 mag really are, they're not too hot. They're more like a hot 10 millimeter out of some of them that some of the commercial loads that are offered today. And that's probably more what I would offer, recommend to shoot through the tracker, just because it's a little bit less robust of a design. This baby the Raging Bull can take a heck of a lot more, and I mean it obviously shows. So if you have any questions or want to know anything else between the two, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to look into it for you. And like I said, I think you'd have a hard time going wrong with either of them if these were kind of the two that you were narrowed down to, especially if you're set on a Taurus. There is other options. Smith & Wesson and Ruger make some nice 44s. And again, prices are a little bit more. So, so far I've been happy with both of them. Got quite a bit more rounds to the Raging Bull here. Probably close to about 100. And quite a bit less on the tracker so far, but need to get my reloading rig set up on these and really start singing through them. But yeah, so yeah, again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'd be happy to look into it. So all right, thanks for watching.